The Marvel Cinematic Universe is in big trouble, and this is how I would fix it. Up next at Mark at the Movies. Welcome to a very special Mark at the Movies where I try to fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, it is no secret that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gone off the tracks in the last several years with different problems and challenges. And this is how I would fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I want to be clear, in this video, I am going to focus on just the movies, not the television show, because there's a whole other mess with all the television shows as well. So this is how I would fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in order to do that, I need to diagnose the problem. And I can do that pretty quickly with only two films in the universe. And those two films will be Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, where it started to really go off the rails, and then The Eternals. Both these films within just a couple years of each other when stuff really started to sour, and I believe that is not a coincidence. So why Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Well, because that's where the big bad of the next phase was finally really introduced into the films, and that's Kang the Conqueror. Now, in this, we're not going to be talking about Jonathan Majors' legal troubles because I believe that has nothing to do with why this movie and why the main villain of Kang the Conqueror failed. It had everything to do with the writing and the execution of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And why is that? Well, because the consequences or the stakes of what happened in that film, they weren't high enough. Ant-Man beat the big baddie, Kang the Conqueror, in the end of the film by himself. It was who wants to see a big bad that could get beat by one second-hand character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? The stakes needed to be higher. They needed to really build up Kang the Conqueror. He needed to, like Thanos did at the beginning of Infinity War, easily defeat the Hulk and Thor. He says it in the film, oh, who's the guy with the hammer that I've killed so many times? But show, don't tell. Show, don't tell in the movies. And what we see is Ant-Man easily defeating Kang the Conqueror. What should have happened was Henry Pym, when he comes in with the ants at the end of the film, spoiler alert, Kang should have defeated not only Hank Pym and the ants, but also Janet Van Dyne as well. Should have killed both of them and really raised the stakes, and then trapped both Ant-Man and the Wasp in the quantum realm and had an Empire Strikes Back feel to it. Now, I know the director went on later to say, well, we didn't want it to be like Infinity War. Why not? It's one of the greatest movies in the history of anything. Make it like Infinity War. It would have been a better piece. So the stakes needed to be higher. The villain needed to be much more powerful. Second, the Eternals. The Eternals is really where the cinematic universe fell off the rails. You had this whole next tier of films that was supposed to be all about the multiverse. The multiverse and Kang the Conqueror, and Kang the Conqueror being the big bad. Well, the Eternals are all these brand new characters, like 15 new characters that have been there since the beginning of time. And then you introduce this Tiamat, this god who's in the middle of the earth and out in the ocean. So you have this convoluted villain that's out there that you're like, well, what is this about? That has nothing to do with the multiverse. And then you have all these new Eternal characters that have nothing to do with the multiverse. So you have the stakes aren't high enough. The big baddie is not clear and is defeated easily. You have all these different extraneous characters that aren't needed at all, and the storyline is not linear. You think about the Infinity War saga. Every single film in some way was about one of the Infinity Stones and directed somehow to Thanos. It was clear, it was concise, there weren't so many characters, and you got to love the characters. That's what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is really about. So, those things being said, here are the 3 ways that I would fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward. Number 1, prune the universe. Now, we all know that in Secret Wars in a few years, it's likely that that is what they're going to do. Prune the universe. Too many characters, too many things going on. People have to do way too much homework to watch these films. So prune the universe, make the Avengers a smaller team. And I would surmise that more than half of the characters need to be universally recognizable. You can't have too many America Ferraras or Echoes or Agatha Harknesses because nobody knows who these characters are universally. So here is my list of the main characters moving forward for the new Avengers team. It doesn't have to be everybody, but the main universal characters in this team. Here we go. Number 1. Spider-Man. Peter Parker has to be the leader of the new Avengers. He is the most popular character in all of Marvel history. He needs to be the number 1 character in the Avengers. Number 2, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is super powerful. He has access to other worlds. He's wise. He's a wild card, and everybody knows who he is from his other films. Number 3, Thor. Do I have to say much else? 4 films, everybody knows him, super powerful, funny. So now you have 3 major characters that everybody knows. Number 4, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is a fantastic and underrated film. And Shang-Chi needs to have more screen time. He's a young character. He's funny. He's interesting. He'll have great interactions. I mean, think about these 4 guys in a room together. And then you add the first female, She-Hulk. Now look, the She-Hulk television series was terrible, but the character can really be improved. You can use this lawyer, and she can be kind of the comic relief, but also the seriousness to kind of rein in all these wild card boys that are all like hotheads and overreactors. Could be really, really fun in that way. The next female character, Yelena. And Yelena would be more like the Scarlett Johansson character, would be more like that character that has that level head, but also on the ground and kind of grounds the universe. So Yelena could be possibly romantically involved with my next Avenger, which would be Star-Lord. Can you imagine Star-Lord on the Avengers? And when he finally meets up again with the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's like, no, man, I'm not a Guardian of the Galaxy anymore. I'm an Avenger. I'm an Earth's mightiest hero now. I mean, it would be so funny to have Peter Quill and Rocket quibble about that. And we've already had Peter and Doctor Strange and Peter Parker quibbling. So that could be hilarious. And the final Avenger I would put on there would, of course, be the new Captain America. Captain America has to be on this team. The Falcons Captain America. That would be a great last addition to this team. So you got those 8 main characters as your new Avengers, and that's what you would use moving forward in this universe. So prune the universe, concentrate on these 8 characters as my number 1 point. Number 2, 1 villain and 1 main focus. If that's Doctor Doom for the next several movies, great. Have Doctor Doom be the big baddie for Fantastic Four, which is coming up in a few weeks, for the Doomsday, for Secret Wars, and a few movies after that, and make him the focus of the cinematic universe for whatever you write for him to have ultimate power. Great. Let him be the bad guy. If that's not, this is what I would suggest. You have your 8 Avengers that I named. Then you have the Fantastic Four as a separate team. And they would all come together and fight the new bad guy in the next phase, which would be the X-Men. The X-Men would be the bad guys in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not 1,000 X-Men, just a tiny team of X-Men. I think that could be an incredible story for the entire phase. You have the normal Avengers that I named, you have the Fantastic Four, and they team up and they fight against the X-Men. What an amazing storyline. That could be one main villain, one main goal, one main threat. That's my number 2 point. Number 3, there needs to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't do all these different things and make it convoluted. Make it simple, make it meaningful, make it worth our time to go and see these films. It's so complicated and so difficult that it's become a chore to watch these movies. So here's my 3 points. Prune the universe, make it more simple. Number 2, one main villain, one main goal, whether it's Doctor Doom in the next several, which we know, and then make it the X-Men. Then number 3, just one story. Just make it one story, make it simple, make it exciting, make it meaningful with characters that we know and we love. We want to cheer for powerful bad guys. I would consider the X-Men as those bad guys, and then in the next phase, you make them the good guys. And that's your formula. It's not hard. I would go to see that. So those are my suggestions for how I would fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What do you think? How would you fix the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Who would be on your Avengers team? Who would be your big bad guy? How would you keep the story simple? Go ahead and write your comments down below. Tell me how you think. Do you think my Avengers team sucks? Well, tell me that it sucks and tell me why and give me your reasoning. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Avengers. Let's do that together as we continue to go to the movies at Mark at the Movies.